Good day, everybody. It's Nualo at Transform Your Life, you under reconstruction, and today is Monday. So it has been the first complete week of my ultimate lifestyle transformation. I did cheat this weekend. I just felt like I wanted to go see a movie with my family, so there was some popcorn eating, I have to say. But that was actually the reason why I love using the control Purium control tablets so much is because it does mitigate some of the damage by slowing down or preventing the glucose process for a little while, so that you're not completely getting all of the sugar that you're putting into your body. But it wasn't that bad. I actually, I snuck in an apple. I'm hoping my karma doesn't make me pay for that. But so I'm on a full rotation. I am noticing a little bit of change, but I don't actually weigh and or tape myself until day 10, because that's how it works. So you weigh and tape yourself at the beginning, and then you weigh and you tape yourself every 10 days so that you can actually see your progress. If you are hitting it really hard and you're being very stringent with it, you're going to see progress quite quickly. And I just love the superfoods anyway, and there's a lot of times where I'm just not able to be a healthy eater with how my schedule sometimes can be, and with work and with meetings and just life. And I don't want to relegate myself to not being prepared, because usually that's when the worst eating mistakes are made, is when you find yourself hungry and then you are super not prepared for any of it. So that's the reason why I love Purium so much. So the transformation is coming along. If I was a little bit more dedicated to it, it would be coming along faster, but it is happening. So I like that I can transition into it, and it's not like a huge change in my life. So the chances of me actually being successful with it are pretty high. And you can just make this something that you do now, unlike other nutrition lifestyles that have tried that. The changes are very drastic, and for most people who are unwilling to sacrifice specific things in their life, that could be something that literally stops them from continuing to make positive progress because it's such a hard, huge U-turn to take, right? For you to change everything. So super appreciate that company and their products. So I just wanted to touch up on that. But today's video, I had the most wonderful one-to-one with a business owner who is a networking partner of mine with our BNI chapter, Business Networking International, the largest world organization of its type. And we had an awesome one-to-one meeting. She was explaining a little bit more in depth about her business. I was explaining more in depth about mine, and really it became a sharing of interests and a sharing of ideas, because sometimes what we do, even though in that organization we can only hold only one profession can hold a slot. So you can only have one finance specialist, or one business law, one criminal law, one nutritionist, one person who does painting, one roofer. It's very specific because there is a non-compete. So only one person can be in the group that actually will be benefiting from personal referrals from the other professionals in the group. And it's totally workable. It teaches you how to build business relationships, and teaches you really how to keep your ears open on how to help others. And as you help other people build their businesses and you build these relationships with them, they help you to build your business as well, by finding you referrals. And referrals and leads are not the same. So there's actually a process, and there's a method to the madness about the whole thing. So that's what BNI has helped me to do. And so I have actually had a great one-to-one with her, and I was sharing experiences on how she could really narrow down her particular service, because she happens to be a identity theft person. And if you didn't know, um, it's not if your identity gets stolen, it's when, right? So I have already had issues with credit card information being stolen, lines of credit being trying to open my name, and I'm only 45. So it's not a question of if, it's pretty much a question of when. And there is a large scope of the services that she can offer that falls under protection, identity theft protection. One of them being they also protect your children. And I didn't know it, but she told me that a lot of children, by the time they graduate from high school, they already have bad credit because their parents have opened uh, lines of credit and bought things under their kids' social security numbers. And you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm sure that does happen. But the identity theft would protect children from other people using their information to ruin their credit. So if you're a grandparent, that's a good idea to protect your grandkids. But also, she told me that something I didn't know is they also protect you on social media. So when we're talking about people spoofing or hacking your, say someone hacks your Facebook account or they hack your Twitter account and they start sending out a bunch of stuff or stealing a bunch of information, photos, posting as you, getting people to send money, and you get sued, or because they were using your likeness, or someone takes your photos and they create memes which are defaming. So if you didn't care about whether or not someone steals your financial information to ruin your credit and get money off you, then maybe you care about how you look on social media. Because and people need to tell their kids this too, the one picture that you do now in high school can ruin your life. It can stop you from getting jobs. It can prevent colleges from giving you from accepting your applications. So what you do on social media, and everyone's on social media, right? You literally need to protect yourself from that. And there are lots of things, including phishing schemes, that can happen within that scope. So if you wanted to protect yourself and wanted to protect your kids or your grandkids or your foster kids, whatever it is, yourself, your family, you could do that, because her business actually covers not just identity theft with credit cards and things like that, and working with credit bureaus and credit repair and what you need to protect your identity, but social media identity too. So I thought that was cool. I helped her try to look at that and be able to narrow that down for herself. And we had a good talk about what I was looking for, because she happens to be a nurse. So I've been giving the basic essential oils classes on natural healthcare. And I just thought it would be great for medical practitioners like nurses and LVNs and doulas, people who work within the healthcare industry, people who are therapists, to kind of learn how essential oils can work in their lives for their clients and for the people that they love and for themselves. So we had an awesome meeting. The funniest thing is that after we had finished with about an hour of talking about our own individual businesses and what kind of referrals we're looking for, which is kind of what we do, we landed on the topic of the law of attraction. And I guess she didn't realize the entire scope of what I do, because I, at the moment, hold the nutritional slot for the chapter. So I normally teach about health and wellness through nutrition and supplementation. But she did not know that I was a transformational coach. So I help people find their happy. And a lot of times I will help them find their happy. And I love teaching them how they can to empower themselves by teaching them law of attraction. And she just so happened to actually be very interested lately in law of attraction. So the word coincidence, right? I tell people there is no such thing as coincidence. Coincidence is when people think that the universe. Sorry, the one thing about using cell phones to record yourself and record your videos is you will get phone calls. I never get phone calls unless I'm busy. I always get them when I'm trying to make videos. Anyway, oh gosh, where was I? Oh yeah. So we fall onto talking about the law of attraction, and she says that she just recently got into reading about it, and she starts talking about how she's talking to different people, and how I brought out some things too, like she's her faith, she has certain beliefs and books that she reads, and it was really nice that no matter what belief system you have, law of attraction works for you. There is a spiritual side to the law of attraction, and I say spiritual, I don't say religious. There's a difference. So it doesn't really threaten any kind of belief system that you have, unless empowering people is against that belief system. So if that happens to be a belief system that you have where people are not allowed to become empowered, then you might want to rethink your choice of belief system. But we had a great conversation, and kind of helped her with manifesting. She was having some issues, and she wasn't really sure why she was running into them. And so we went through the steps of manifestation. And the part that seems to get people every time is the letting go part. So let me dive into that a little bit. So every thought that you ever have, right, creates something. But who's to say that when it's not created, it doesn't already exist? You just have to figure out how to attract that to yourself, right? So when you think something, right, you create an intention. You have a desire, right? So you figure out what your desire is, and you word it in such a way to where it doesn't bring you to the thought of scarcity, right? And to I don't have it. Just for the fact that, I desire to have this in my life. And then the second thing, well, you always want to make sure you phrase it. But once you have that intention, it's calm your mind, right? This is why meditation is so good. And meditation doesn't go against anyone else's beliefs, unless, again, you happen to have a belief system that doesn't empower people to care for themselves. So meditation is all about clearing the mind, finding your calm, because this is key to doing the next part. So once you calm the mind and you clearly have in your mind something that you desire, you are going to, with a calm and empty mind, no thoughts, right? You're going to see yourself living your life as if you already had that thing. And it is visualization. There's lots of visualization when it comes to law of attraction. There's a lot of visualization when it comes to learning how to meditate to do things. There's a lot of visualization. And people are like, well, you're just making it up because you're thinking it. But you literally can't have anything unless you're thinking it. You have to imagine something before it is, right? Everything starts with thought, and everything is powered by emotion, right? Emotion, energy in motion. So if you can't think it, then it can't exist, right? If you don't think about the sun, does it exist? right? If you couldn't think up a lot of things that you like, if you didn't encourage yourself, which is just thinking, to do something, if you didn't motivate yourself, which again is thinking, to get something done, then it wouldn't get done. So everything begins with thought, right? Powered with emotion. So yes, is a lot of visualization. And if you want to call it pretending, that's fine. But everything has to start somewhere, and visualizing is how you start manifesting. So see yourself living your life as if you already had it. What does that mean? What are you doing with this thing that you want to manifest in your life? If you had it right now, where would you be? Right? Would you be traveling? Would you be visiting family? Would you be giving seminars? Would you be at the car lot buying a car? Would you be picking up a new car? Would you be showing up for your first day at a new job that has a lot of promise? I mean, what are you doing? See it in your head that I have this thing that I want. I already have it. This is what I'm going to be doing, right? Since I already have it. If it's a person, where are you going? Where do you meet? Do you get married? Are you holding hands? And then the next step is, after you do this visualization, how are you going to feel? How do you feel already having that in your life? How would it feel to have a freedom lifestyle where you never have to worry about money? How would you feel if you got a brand new car and you've been saving and trudging for so long, and where you don't have any transportation? How would it feel to land the job that's going to change the lives of your family, right? How would that feel? And then you hold on to that with that visualization in your head. And when you get that emotion of, this is how it feels to have this in my life, I want you to increase it. Make it bigger, right? Make it so big that you feel like your chest can't hold it, right? And then hold on to that. That's the feeling you want with the visualization in your head. This is how you tell the universe, this is what I want, right? How you tell your inner being that this is what I want to create. And then you shoot that intention off into the world like a rocket. This is the part my friend was having trouble with. This is the part that a lot of people have trouble with. Trust. After you go through this and you finish a meditation, you finish this creating of this visualization and this belief and this feeling of what it feels like. I already have this in my life. I know what it feels like. This is what it feels like, right? Now just trust that the universe is going to make it so. Let it go. Don't over-focus on it. Keep it in the back of your mind that this is an intention that you have, but only keep it in your mind in order to remind yourself what kind of feeling you're supposed to hold on to make this come into your life faster, right? Don't over-focus on it. Don't focus on not having it, right? Don't look at something and be reminded of you not having it, or that you used to have it, or whatever it is, and then totally throw yourself off where you're supposed to be, right? That is the hardest. Let it go and just trust. Trust that God, trust that the universe has heard you, has felt you, and that knows that you have already created, and you just want it to come to you now. Just come into my life because I'm ready, right? Another thing that sometimes can stop people from manifesting is, and when you find it for yourself, you'll wonder why you never had it. But your self-worth, you don't truly believe that you deserve this thing. You don't believe that you deserve this happiness for some reason, like because you're not worthy of it. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Everyone's worthy. Everyone is worthy. Every single person on this planet is worthy of every experience they choose to experience, right? Everything. And, if you don't feel like you're worthy, you really got to dig down deep and be like, who put that in your head? Who put that in your head, right? Who watered it? Who taught it to you? And why in the world are you holding on to that? Right? If you don't feel like you're worthy, then take aligned action to be worthy. It's as simple as that. And if it's a belief that someone else put on you, then just let it go. That's the whole wonder about knowing your worth and living your truth, is knowing that you absolutely deserve everything that is good in this world. You are worthy of that thing. You are special, and there will only be one you ever. Right? This version of who you are, this physical manifestation, right, that you created, this vessel that you have, so that your divine eternal presence can live this lifetime. It's only going to happen like that once. You are unique in this world and worthy of all things. So believe that, know it, and go do your manifestations. Much love and light. Namaste.